A very warm welcome to you, Doctor. Doctor, will you please introduce yourself?
Sure. I'm Dr. Danesh Gandhi. I completed my MBBS from HPT Medical College and Cooper Hospital in 2022, and I joined MD Medicine in KEM Hospital, Mumbai this year itself in November, and I gave NEET in 2021 and sorry, 2021. Bad with years now. And in the latest NEET, and my rank was 365, and I scored 630 marks out of 800 in that exam. Apart from that, I also gave the INI CET exam where my rank was 282, and I cleared PLAB as well in the year in August, in last August. So yes, currently I'm pursuing MD medicine, and that's my life as of now.
So, Doctor, what made you choose medicine? Like, what made you choose a medical field? What was your inspiration?
So right since my MBBS started, I always liked subjects like physiology, pharmac, patho, and eventually even medicine. So, medicine is one subject which integrates almost all specialties. It's a very much thinking branch, not much performance or skill based. It is more of how much you can analyze and your judgment. So, these things fascinate me about medicine. Also, medicine is one very much hands on branch. Like a proper doctor is one you visualize as a medicine person. So, these things made me choose medicine. And yes, it has lived up to its expectation as of now.
So, Doctor, as you said that you have written a PLAB exam also.
Yes,
So,
yes,
what is the main difference between the NEET exam and a PLAB exam? What you felt like it was a drastic difference between both?
yes. There is a drastic difference. First of all, in the NEET exam, there is unfortunately a higher weightage given to pre and paraclinical subjects like PSM, Patho, Pharmac, Micro, FMT, such subjects which probably do not have as much role in patient management uh, as hardcore clinical subjects like medicine, surgery, OBGP have. So that's one main difference in NEET and PLAB. Also, PLAB paper is very much clinical based. Like they give you proper case scenarios, almost like each question is like a separate case per se. However, NEET 2 is being set to get into the clinical domain now. With next and all coming up, they are saying it's going to become clinical. But as far as my exam goes, it wasn't that clinical. It was more factual, to be honest. And yeah, I think in the NEET exam, the thing is that if you learn the concept, if you learn your stuff well, if you do multiple revisions, even if you understand or don't understand, you can clear that exam well. Whereas that doesn't go the same in PLAB. PLAB is all every question is new. There are hardly any repeats. Topics are repeated, yes, but every question is almost new. So you have to apply your mind each question and with a neutral mindset. So and of course the time limit. PLAB is almost, I think the time is one minute per question, and you have lengthy paragraphs with investigations and all. They have to be quicker in PLAB, whereas in NEET, time is not that much of an issue if you compare.
Okay. So, Doctor, as we know that in a year there are so many people who write NEET exam, and very
Mm.
few of them are able to pass and crack the exam. So, what was your strategies, and how did you prepare for your exam to score this rank?
So honestly, I would like to say that I did not keep myself under much pressure for the NEET exam. Like I was already preparing for PLAB. So NEET actually was like a backup for me. PLAB was my main focus. So I would like to first tell everyone not to take much pressure for a NEET exam, since it's actually not worth it. You can just give your best shot and try to master your strong subjects, I would say. And for a weak subjects, I would say if you're weak in a subject, do not completely ignore it. Try to do the basic stuff of that subject also. No one is asking you to become a master of all 19 subjects. That's not possible. You may have around more than half subjects you will be confident about. I would suggest make those strong, practice those more, and also do the important stuffs, do the previous year questions from your weak subject. Uh, that should cover it. It's not that big a deal. And practicing MCQs in NEET for NEET exam as well as for PLAB exam also. It's the main crux of the preparation. The more MCQs you practice, that's going to help you more. Like you may read the entire textbook, you memorize it word to word, but if you do not have MCQ practice, then you're nowhere. So MCQ practice, according to me, is most important, and second most important is the revision.
Okay. So how did you manage your time? Like, did you have a very set timetable or a schedule for yourself to study?
No, I tried to make a schedule for myself, but with my internship, it was didn't turn out to be much possible. So I had a strategy that in my internship, all the entire time period wasn't me doing work. Like what I'm doing in residency right now, I hardly have time to even eat or drink water. That wasn't the case in internship. Internship was much better. So whenever I would get time, I would solve MCQs on my mobile phone. Like now we have so many apps. Plabable is on the mobile, Marrow, Prep Ladder, eGurukul. So when you get time, try to solve MCQs on your mobile and read the explanations. So in that way, you can maximize your time during internship, and you will have in your internship you will have some very heavy postings and some quite light postings also. So what I thought was that in my heavy postings, I won't have much time and energy to study much. So I will just try to revise what I already know, try to do MCQs. Whereas in my light postings, I would try to give the importance to my weak subject, where subjects I'm not done at all. Subjects I need to start. So I did those in my lighter posting. So at the start of your internship itself, you'll get an idea how your internship is going to be, which months are going to be heavy, which are going to be light. So accordingly, you can make a rough schedule that in these 2 months, I'll try to do these topics and these subjects. Of course, not always you will stick to your schedule and your schedule will get completed. But try to have a rough plan that till if I start my internship in May, try to keep a target that till November I should finish the first reading. Till
Mm.
coming Jan or Feb I should finish the second reading. Try to keep these large targets in mind. And micro planning honestly doesn't work for internship preparation because each day is dynamic, each day is different. But try to keep broad targets, I would say.
So, Doctor, mainly you're trying to say that the MCQs and this mock test and all are the main key role to crack a paper.
More than MCQs, I feel the mock test, the grand test. The grand tests are the game changer because the main difference between mock test and MCQ practices in MCQ practice, you don't have that sword on your head. You have to complete the questions and all. You will do 20 questions. You will chill for some time, half an hour. After half an hour, again do. That's not how it goes in the exam. Everyone can solve the first 20 questions full concentration. That's not an issue. The real game begins when you are not getting answers to 5 6 questions in a row. That's when you start panicking. What will I do? I'm not getting answers. Then you go into a negative state in the exam. So this mind game is what plays the big role in the exam. So this can only be overcome once you give multiple grand tests. Give multiple grand tests. I don't stick to one app or one platform. Nowadays there are free grand tests available. Each app has free grand tests. I would say give all grand tests. And do not hold yourself back that I have not finished 4 5 subjects, so should I give the grand test or not? I would suggest that even a second year student should start giving grand tests. Even at second year, you have completed 7 subjects. 7 subjects, you should get the answers. Using the 7 subjects knowledge, you can still derive answers of some medicine, surgery, pharma questions also. So to give the mock test, give it as early as possible and make a diary of your scores and your correct answers, incorrect answers. Each test, subsequent test, you should at least improve by 1 mark or one correct answer more. Even if that is there, you're at the right track. So multiple grand tests and starting grand test as early as possible is the biggest key, I think, to cracking the NEET and INR-CT exam. For PLAB, I would say again, if you manage to give around 10 mock tests, it is sufficient, I think, for PLAB. Plabable mock tests are very good for that. If you start giving the mock test for PLAB around 1.5 months before your date, I think that is enough. That is not much of an issue. You just
So
need the
doctor,
speed. The content is
mhm.
not that difficult when it comes to PLAB. That's one more difference in PLAB and NEET. PLAB is much more superficial. They expect you to just know diagnosis and the basic management. Whereas NEET, they go into deeper concepts and all. They ask for MD level, DM level stuff at times, which is actually not supposed to be known by a MBBS level doctor. But they do ask you that stuff also. Uh, so that is one more difference I feel. Yeah.
So doctor, would you suggest doctors to go for a coachings and all for the NEET exam? Or how did you prepare? Did you take any coaching or you did a self study?
So I started face-to-face classes for coaching in my second year, and in my third minor. Second year and my third minor, I could attend these coaching classes. In my final year, COVID hit, so I had to shift to app-based learning. Now, if you ask me what is preferred, face-to-face classes or app-based, I would say 110% it is face-to-face classes. The reason being that apps have all the content, they have all the MCQs, everything is available. But sitting at home, you will never get that motivation to see the entire content at one go. What happens in face-to-face classes is that classes may be of say 10 hours, 12 hours, 13 hours at time. You will feel the urgent urge in your body to just close the textbooks, notebooks, and run away. But it's not possible. You are sitting between 50, 100 students. So by hook or by crook, you will sit at that place and you at least make the notes of all subjects, of all the content at that time. And at the end of the day, when just before your exams, your notes will matter the most, your handwritten notes. So I would say that face-to-face classes is the best way to prepare for these exams. Starting in second year makes sense. It not only helps you for the exams, it also helps you for your professional exams also, like your university exam. It really helps you a lot. So start in second year. In third year, you can complete how much ever subjects you can. I would not say complete on 90 subjects in third year itself. You will have your post and exams. You will have your terminal exams, the prelims and all. So you can miss subjects coming at those times and carry forward those to the final year. Of course, having a backup of a online platform always makes sense for MCQ practice. And of course, if you are weak at some topics, you can always refer to those videos again. But I feel your primary source should be a face-to-face class, like whichever class you're comfortable with. I was more comfortable with a classroom setup, so I chose Bhatia classes in Mumbai. However, it all depends on individual. Again, some of my friends are comfortable app-based modern classroom, so that's fine. But broadly, if you ask me personally, I would suggest classroom coaching better.
So, doctor, as you know that only 10 days are left for the NEET exam. So, what are the like last 10 days tips you would like to give to the young doctors, like topics which they can cover and they can crack their exam?
Sure, sure. So, in the last 10 days, first of all, your state of mind has to be top notch. State of mind is the key. Doesn't matter how much you have studied, how much you have practiced, how much you have scored. What matters is your state of mind in these 10 days and your state of mind at the day of the exam. Plus, I feel there is a lot of controversies right now regarding the date of the exam. Still, I'm not sure about that, but I think the date is still uncertain. I would
Mm.
say just switch off uh, from all social media sources who are trying to distract you. You will get tempted and lured to see that, oh, the exam is postponed, this petition is filed here, this is done there. It happened in my exam, it happened before my exam last year as well. It happens every year. More than 50% of the people who are going to get ranks do not get ranks because they fall into this trap. They fall into this mental mental stronghold that they think about the exam dates and all that, and they just lose focus on the content. So don't do that. I would say do not study much in these last 10 days. Try to keep a cool mind, keep your health good. And if you have made a 20th book, revise that. Uh, Many classes have these image-based modules like Vibe. Vibe was an image-based module in Bhatia. So that really helped. Like each subject, they had some photos and the related content. So you can make that as a 20th book. I never had a 20th book per se, but the Y book turned out to be my 20th book, and it really helped me a lot because although the content is not that much, you get a sense of confidence that you have at least done some things of all subjects, and you are good to go. So that confidence plays a big role. It doesn't mean that you will, by doing that small book, you will complete the entire syllabus. That's not possible. But having that confidence of knowing something of everything of 2019 subjects plays a big thing. So revise important topics, revise MCQs, and again, do not burn out yourself in these 10 days. Take adequate breaks, take walks, exercise, and I think more than anything else, on the day of the exam, your state of mind is what, and your mental preparation is what is going to make a difference. I would suggest attempt as many as possible in the exam, even though there is +4 -1. Even if you can rule out one option, you should attempt the question. That's what I would suggest. Uh, keep this in mind, and attempt. If you have no idea whatsoever, like if I've heard some Greek and Latin for the first time, then do not attempt that question. That's fine. But even if you can rule out one option that this is not the answer for sure, and even if you're not don't know anything about other three options, still attempt that question. Uh, Eventually, your score is going to get you forward. So I would suggest take, especially if you don't have a reserve category, you need a high score for government college exams. So I had that strategy in mind that to attempt as many as possible. So yeah, that's it. And in the last 10 days, what you can revise your mistakes you had in the questions. Like you can revise the bookmark questions. You can revise some pearls, some important images which keep coming up in the exam. Topics like size of IV cannulas, uh, and I am out of touch for the NEET syllabus for around 6 months, but there are some topics which keep coming up year after year. Like there's one question for sure. Uh, Topics like electrolyte imbalances, important ECGs. One question is going to come 100%. So might as well just go through these things, these ultra IMP topics, I would say. And yeah, do not stress much in these 10 days. You cannot finish the entire syllabus in 10 days. Do not even attempt to finish the entire syllabus in 10 days. You will go for a toss. So that's it from my end for the last 10 days preparation.
Doctor, as like when we hosted so many sessions on USMLE, PLAB and all, one thing which we find common, which most of the doctors says that most of the time the questions keeps on repeating. Concentrate more on past papers because the questions keeps on repeating. Did you feel the same thing when you were writing your exam?
So the thing is, the questions do not repeat per se in NEET. Questions repeat in INI CET. So for my INI CET preparation, I hadn't prepared much for INS, to be honest. I just done the previous year questions. And in some questions, I didn't even know like why that is the answer, why that I didn't know the answer. But just by virtue of getting the same questions copy pasted in the exams, I just cracked those questions like that only. So if you're preparing for INI CET, past questions are the key. There is nothing more important than past questions for INI CET. For NEET, it's slightly different. Questions are not repeated in NEET. The topics are repeated. Those are again those ultra MP topics which I said. Those topics are repeated. Concepts are repeated. Questions are not repeated in NEET. So if you're thinking that you will mug up the previous 5-year papers and go for NEET, that's not going to work. That can work in INS CET. So for NEET, I suggest see the important topics which are coming up again and again. Like in CVS, okay, so one thing in CVS pharmacology, for example, everyone is afraid of anti-arrhythmic drugs. But if you see the past 5-year question papers, hardly 1 or 2 questions have come from them. That is not an important topic. But rather more important topic I would say is heart failure. Every year something is coming from them. So see these important topics which are coming up and try to master those topics. So those topics will be repeated in your exam. And of course, you will get some new topics, some vague topics also. But those questions will not decide your rank. Your rank will be decided by, so again, there are 3 types of questions in the exam. There is easy, medium, and very hard. Believe it or not, around 120 or 180 questions will be very easy. More than 80% of the people have done a decent MBBS preparation will have to get those questions right. Your rank won't be decided by those questions. 10 to 15 questions will be very hard. Even the rank one will not answer all of those questions. The actual game in the exam is of the remaining 50 to 60 questions. Those medium questions, you have to apply your mind, where your multiple revisions count, where your presence of mind counts, where your application counts. If you master these questions, your rank is confirmed. And in these questions, each question you lose out over here, your rank goes back a little. Each question you lose out on the easy questions, your rank goes back a lot. So try to keep this in mind and keep your eyes and ears always open for these application-based questions. They may seem easy to you, but they're actually something different. So just keep an eye out for them, and you will be through.
So, doctor, as most of the time we have seen this, that doctors do get hyper when during the day of exam. Most of the doctors do even faint before going and writing exam. So, what tips and what things you will tell doctors to avoid and to focus on during the day of exam?
Yes. So first of all, the day prior to your exam, keep all your necessary documents, stationery, bag, everything ready the evening before. Get at least 6 to 8 hours of sleep. Of course, even if you go to bed, the anxiety will kick in and you will not sleep as such. But go to bed early. Do not waste the night revising your stuff and doing. Keep everything ready. Leave your house well in advance for your center. Not everyone will get centers close to their home. Some travel, you have to consider the travel time, mode of transport, and all. If you're going by an Uber, just pre-book an Uber for the required time. So try to avoid any anxiety-facing issues beforehand. That being said, it's not possible 100% can avoid all anxiety relating issues. You may get some traffic, get some unexpected incidents. That's fine. But keep a provision for that. Like if the travel time shows 45 minutes, try to leave 1 hour, 1.5 hours before. Go there and wait. Try to avoid any anxiety issues over there. Do not stress much on the day of the exam. As I said, that stress is not going to help you. It's not a you stress, it is a distress. That's going to hamper your performance on the day of the exam. Further, keep yourself adequately hydrated during the exam as well as before the exam. During the exam, if you hydrate yourself, you will need to use the washroom and you lose out on time. That happened to me also, but hydrating yourself does make a difference, at least to me. Have proper food before the exam. Do not indulge in junk food. Keep these basic things in mind. Don't. And at the end of the day, do not like take it as a be all end all exam. Like so much of stress goes into NEET and all. Once you join residency, you will realize that it's actually not worth it. All this extra stress for the ranks and all. At the end of the day, just remember that little philosophical at times that whatever rank, whatever marks you get, that is in your best interest. Doesn't mean if you get rank one, if you get the premier college, you'll have a short life. Life doesn't work like that. It all depends on what you make out of the situation you are in. So just keep that in mind and go with an open mind for your exam. All of you all have prepared a lot for the exam and all of you all deserve the best. But again, there is just unfortunately just a few number of seats available for the taking. That doesn't matter. There are always multiple plan Bs available. So do not stress much and give your best shot. Hua to hua, nahi hua to, it's okay. Just keep that in mind always.
So, doctor, when you went for writing the exam, did you had that thing in your mind कि मैं तो top score करके लाऊंगा, I'll rank
No,
this
no,
naturally?
no,
Or
no,
what
never,
was your
never,
thinking?
never. See, I just like my situation was a little different. Like as I said, lab was my primary exam. So lab I was going to be in August, and I just want to give one good attempt at NEET because I prepared for NEET in second year. And again, for me my approach was go hard or go home because private colleges and was an option for me, I would rather go for PLAB. So my approach was like, again, if I rule out one option, I'm going to attempt that question. Wrong to wrong, it's okay. And I enjoy solving MCQs actually. MCQ solving always has been more preferable than writing those long LAQs and SAQs and all that. So I try to enjoy myself day of the exam, like just have a positive mindset on a day of the exam. If you know something, good. If you don't know something, it's okay. You cannot know all 200 questions. It is not possible. Get that false notion out of your mind straight away. No one knows all 200 questions. No one. No one has ever scored 800 or 800 exam. So just do as much as you can and try to make your own strategy for the exam. Like as you solve more grand tests, you will realize that okay, in your first reading of the 200 questions, you can solve probably 150, 160. So try to keep that. You can at least solve 160 in your first reading, 40 you'll attempt later. If you have a long question, you don't know the answer, don't even waste time on that question. So have your own strategy in mind. Doesn't matter how much you know, it matters how much you effectively use your knowledge to crack the question. So have an open mind. As I said, doesn't matter like to get a rank or not, but give your best shot. What I feel is that at the end of the exam, when you come out, you should say yes, how much ever I studied for 3 years, 1 year, even if I studied for 6 months. After the exam is over, I'm satisfied that I gave my best shot. How much ever I knew, I applied. I exceeded my expectations also. And now whatever the result comes, I'm okay with it. So if at the end of the exam you have this thought in your mind, then I would say you are a winner, and you don't need to wait for the result to check for your standing. You are a winner there and there. So just try to keep this thought in your mind, and whatever the result comes, that's it.
So, doctor, how did your journey changed after writing your exam and you got scores? You wrote your PLAB exam also. So, did you had that thing in your mind? Ki nahi, not UK now. I'll stay in India only. That didn't
Well,
happen.
yes, it happened to me actually. After my score came, like it was difficult. Like I made up my mind that if I don't get something good in NEET, I'll go for the PLAB. Nope, I didn't want to. I have the finances as well to spend on private college fees and all that. So I had some benchmarks that okay, if my rank is this much from getting these colleges, I'm okay. Otherwise, PLAB it is. So when I got the 365 rank, I was almost getting almost all branches and colleges. So then I said that might as well do it over here. See, PLAB and NEET both have their pros and cons, to be honest. NEET is a more sure shot and a faster pathway to getting an MD degree. Of course, it's much more stressful. The residency, the conditions are bad, the work hours are much more. Whereas the PLAB is a little longer process, I would say. And thus, even if you score well in your exam, it's much more of a luck based. Like it depends on your interview, depends on your overall portfolio, this and that. So a bird in hand is worth two in a bush. So once my NEET score was in hand, like I had to proceed the NEET score. Yet my August PLAB slot was booked. So I gave the PLAB exam as well. But by the time the PLAB results came in September, the counseling process already started actually. So that didn't matter much. But I would suggest that coming to the point that okay, out of NEET, PLAB and USMLE, PLAB and NEET can be done together. So if someone wants a good backup option in clinical branches, like someone is very much focused on clinical branches, which are hard to get in the NEET over here, and they want a good work-life balance as well, I would say prepare for PLAB and NEET both together. It's very easy to prepare for both together. USMLE on the other hand is a much more dedicated exam. Do not prepare for USMLE and NEET together at all. You will not do well in any of these exams. NEET and PLAB can be prepared together. There is a lot of overlap in the portion as well. I would say if you prepare for NEET well, you will already cover 70% PLAB portion easily. Easily. So PLAB as a backup option is always good, or even NEET as a backup option, whatever. But these two exams can be prepared together. Again, then it depends on your priorities, what you want, what you do not want. That you, I think, Inspire IMG will take sessions for the pros and cons of these two pathways. But if someone wants a good backup option, I would suggest prepare for PLAB along with NEET. It is very much doable. Very much doable. PLAB passing rate is very high. Easily you can pass PLAB also if NEET goes downward.
Last question, doctor. How is your residency going on? I know that most of the time I call you, you're very busy. So, how is the work life in India?
Residency is very, very hard in India, at least in the first year. So it depends actually on the college you are in, on the place you are in. In government colleges, at least in my college or in the Mumbai government colleges, the workload is a lot. Many patients and very few doctors. So, and at least in the first year, you are expected to be the on-ground person at all time. So it is hard. Uh, you will not get time to do your basic routine stuff as well. Sleeping, eating will be an issue at times. But I've been told it's worth it. So I've had this belief in my mind that it will all be worth it at the end of the day. Exposure is immense in government hospitals. The hands-on you get is immense. If you have the interest and the energy, you can do. You can reach. You can do whatever you want. You can like. There is no limit to your learning in government hospitals. Like there is never a dearth of learning. You will get all kinds of patients. You will get all types of diseases, all types of treatments. You will get to learn from the best people as well. But what is important is to have a learning mindset at all times, even in these hardships, which is difficult. Of course, there are DNB courses available as well in private hospitals, which will give you a lesser exposure, but which have a work-life balance as well. So I would honestly suggest that do not run behind the established big name colleges just because the toppers are choosing it. Take a call for yourself. What you can do and what you actually want. Uh, like MD, DNB, of course, the debate is the MD is better than DNB. I personally don't feel that there is a difference. Uh, DNB also is very much good. DNB used to have a little less a hectic life along with a decent enough fees. I think it's 1,50,000 for DNB. So if you have a mid rank and you're not getting an MD college or dream college of a choice, I would suggest go for a DNB, good DNB course. It is very much good as well. But if you want to do MD in these big colleges, those big name colleges, government colleges, then be prepared for a tough life, especially in clinical branches, medicine, surgery, OBGY, peds, and ortho. These branches are cruel. Otherwise, if you're in radio, psychiatry, skin, anesthesia, PSM, ENT, optal, you will have a proper work-life balance there. So yeah, I'm just around 3.5 months into my residency, and it is difficult. But yeah, I am in front of you at end of 3 months. Hopefully, I should be in front of you in front end of 3 years as well. So
I can see,
that's it.
doctor, it's 1 o'clock in the morning, it's 1 a.m. now, but you're still too much energetic. So I can completely relate with that.
No one. This time is early for me. I came at 1, so I thank my stars. I came home at 1 today. Otherwise,
Okay.
I'm coming home much later. So today is my lucky day. I'm at 1 right now at my room at 1, so I'm lucky.
It's actually lucky for me, even I
Yeah.
can say. So,
Today
doctor,
being Sunday, it's Sunday, so that's why 1. It's 1. Otherwise, it's never 1.
thank you so much for such a wonderful words, doctor. Thank you so much for giving your time also. I hope
No,
this session will be very much helpful for the fellow doctors.
hopefully. I thank you for having me on this session. Actually, really, thank you so much for having me on the session, and I hope I could provide some useful inputs to
Yes,
the NEET aspirant as well as the PLAB aspirant.
definitely, doctor. Once again, very much thank you, doctor.